did want to talk about a current Piston that did sign a 10-day contract, and the Pistons have signed him for the remainder of the season. So my question to you is the Taj Gibson experience. What have been your thoughts on him? I know he hasn't played a whole lot, but we've heard from players like Jalen Duren and James Wiseman, like just his veteran leadership and impact. So maybe kind of your perspective on that.
I love it. My first thought when he signed was like, all right, Duren and Wiseman finally have a big man who can help them, play basketball properly, especially on the defensive end. I mean, Wiseman has been solid defensively this year, but Duren just needs a vet to help him defensively, and Wiseman needs a vet to help him offensively. But I love it. I mean, Wiseman's been playing really well lately. I'm sure it's not all on Taj, but I'm sure Taj has helped. Duren's been better. It's just, he's the type of vet you want around your team. Like, everybody talks so highly of him. It'll be interesting next year if he stays around, if he retires, if he sort of moves into the coaching staff or what happens there. But it can never hurt around a young team like this to have a vet like Taj.
Oh, I 100% agree. It's kind of funny because the Pistons have a, quote unquote big man coach. I think it's Mark Bryant, who Monty brought with him from Phoenix. And like, obviously he's supposed to, help the bigs. And I think he's done wonders for Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, even Marvin Bagley this year was really good. Like, probably the first year I actually saw Marvin Bagley actually play defense. And I was like, okay, maybe there's something there. I think Taj's just mentorship, particularly with James Wiseman. I think I saw it right away because James Wiseman wasn't second guessing himself. I think a lot of the time this year when he did get to play was he wasn't really sure whether he should set a pick, whether he should just score or whatnot. I think he's kind of given him that confidence to just play his game personally. I think you've kind of seen that. To your point, defensively, like he's been, I don't even want to get into those conversations because I know how Pistons fans are, but like he's kind of been better than Jalen Duren defensively.
Lately. I think he has been all year. Defensively, honestly, I don't know if that's a hot take, but I know that the Wiseman discourse is weird all around on both sides.
Yeah, like I see the pit, like the OGs of Pistons Twitter. Anything James Wiseman, I know it's going to be negative.
Sure,
like, even if he has a good game.
Right.
But then you have the Warriors / the Wiseman, like Wiseman Muse, Wiseman Stands accounts where they will run through a brick wall for this guy. And I love that.
Yeah.
But I think there has to be a happy medium where like we can talk about him without it being negative, and we can talk about him when he has a good game. And when he doesn't have a bad game, doesn't have to be negative, but like he is what he is at this point. He's only 22. And I think some people have kind of capped his ceiling. It's like, oh, he's never going to get better. He is what he is. He's a bust. It's like, he's 22. Like, chill out.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like, it is funny because it's like earlier in the year I would tweet, or not earlier in the year, but like mid-season, I'd be like, Muscala needs to be playing right now. Like, stretch the floor, especially when Asar was coming off the bench. And then you get attacks from the Wiseman stands about that. But then you're like, all right, like, I remember I tweeted at one point, I'm like, Wiseman's probably been the best or second best big man defender on the Pistons. And then you get attacked from the other side. But like you said, he's 22. Like, he's been much better as of recently. Like, the first half of the season, it was an issue, especially playing him with the SAR. But that's not necessarily on him. I mean, we could talk about Mr. Monty Williams. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely a happy medium. Wiseman's been getting better the last few weeks to a month or two, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thank God for Taj. I'd honestly love to see him if he does want to retire to be part of the coaching staff, whether that's just like a consultant, like kind of like how John Beeline was, or maybe you replace Mark Bryant as the big man's coach, because Taj Gibson in a week literally like unlocked James Wiseman, and it kind of tells you like, Pistons fans are right. You needed a veteran presence. You need a veteran big. Like, I don't know why I mention this guy all the time, but like when the Pistons traded for Anthony Tolliver, you immediately saw the veteran presence and impact like that. Why Taj Gibson's had that same type of effect, even though he hasn't played. You've kind of just seen, like, I never saw the bench actually celebrate when we had a 3-pointer. You got like Troy Brown Jr. who doesn't play, he gets DNPs
Right.
for Stanley Amude now. And Taj
Right.
Gibson, like they're just like bench mobbing over there and having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it's also frustrating, like, because Taj has been great. And it's like we've just been begging for like a small move like this to bring like a solid vet presence in like him, specifically a big. And it's like you said, like you already see the results in a week or two with Wiseman.
Yeah.
And again, Wiseman was trending up before that, but like it seems like since Taj got here, it's just like completely unlocked his confidence.
Yeah, it's kind of like amplified it to a point where you're like, if you would have got a big in the beginning of the year, maybe they don't have 12 wins. Maybe they're, closer to 20 wins. Maybe they don't go on a 28-game losing streak because you actually have a vet that's vetting. Nothing against Burks or Bojan, but to me, I don't really think their voice in that locker room was really, heard like Taj's voice has been.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. Some vets have that, leadership quality where they can, talk and they'll listen. Boyan and Burks, from what it sounds like with Knicks fans, they can't stand those guys.
I mean, it's what Pistons fans couldn't stand Burks for half the season, and then the other half, they're like, "Oh, he can't miss. This is kind of fun. Let's get a first-round pick for him." But it is funny. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, but like just how that trade has turned out for both teams so far. Yeah, obviously it's like Burks and Boyan could really help with the playoff push for the Knicks, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think the Knicks will still, go deep in the playoffs. But
yeah, I mean they've been hurt too. Yeah,
yeah. Happy for Taj. Nick legend, Pistons legend.
Yep. Honestly, seeing him in a Pistons jersey looks more natural than a Knicks jersey. I don't know why.
Yeah, even a Bulls jersey, he looks better. In a Knicks jersey, it just looks
for sure. Right.
Yeah, it's like AI in a Pistons jersey just does not look right.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.